Under the leadership of President Vladimir Putin, the Russian economy is growing and growing strong.
They see themselves as having had to retreat in the post-Cold War era, and they're now trying to basically get back what they think belongs to them.
This is largely due to energy exports. Dr. Joseph Fitsanakis, the director of the King Institute for Security and Intelligence Studies, says those exports make up more than 60% of the economy. And with a growing economy, he says, comes a desire to be a major player in global politics.
A superpower has to project its strength not just in its immediate region, but at the furthest corners of the earth.
Plus, a military needs money to expand on a global scale. Dr. Fitsanakis says the U.S. should not be overly concerned about Russians' announced intentions to fly patrols in the Gulf of Mexico.
They're old Soviet heavy aircraft, they're propeller, driven. The Russians, I think that they're just trying to basically sort of remind us of their presence. So for now, it's not very threatening.
He says what is concerning is that NATO confirmed the presence of Russian troops in eastern Ukraine last week.
We are now facing directly a Russian intervention, military intervention on Ukrainian soil, other than Crimea.
Ukraine was the agricultural center of the Soviet Union and home to much of the Soviet military.
If you look at this in the long run, it first has to reassert itself as a dominant force in its immediate region before it starts thinking about more ambitious plans for world supremacy.
Speaking at the G20 summit in Australia, President Obama said sanctions against Russia may not stop.
If he continues down the path that he is on, violating international law, providing heavy arms to the separatists in Ukraine, violating an agreement that he agreed to just a few weeks ago, the Minsk agreement, that would have lowered the temperature and the killing in the disputed areas and providing us a pathway for a diplomatic resolution, then the isolation that Russia is currently experiencing will continue.
Kyle Benjamin, News 5, WCYB.